What's up, guys? It's Duke Delaet. Today we're going to talk about letting your religion be an excuse. All right, so I'm on the call today. You know, I do calls for the Attractive Man on their Total 10 program to help guys who are going through the step-by-step process of learning how to approach and get morals. I got a lot of things going on. I don't know if this stuff's going to work for me. Let's see where my hang-ups are and whatever. So we get into the conversation, and I have a lot of experience with this shit. I actually started writing a book called Freely Sexual that goes against kind of the old school dogma that is not properly supported in the religious text. But anyways, that's neither here nor there since it's not released yet. And he was saying, like, yeah, I'm always out. I'm looking for a woman who, you know, if they dress really slutty, then I'm turned off because, I want a good girl. And I'm like, okay, yeah, classic Madonna whore complex. We got this, woman on a pedestal who can do no wrong, who's good and has nothing but love and nurturing in her heart. And then we got this other girl who's free with her body and her emotions, and she's emotionally broken and whatever. And we got this diametrically opposed viewpoint, which is fucking bullshit, and it's supported by society. Basically, like, all of our media likes to show extremes. It likes to show the crazy and the stable and nothing in between. And we're all a little bit crazy, and we're all a little bit stable at times and in different contexts and environments. And the beauty of human experience is on a spectrum of awesome, depending on what your goals are and depending on what your trauma is and your all of your foundations, right? So it's a fantastically complex thing, and to boil it down to black and whites and then set your whole dating life up on it is just pretty fucking absurd. So I started talking about, look, you need to get out and you need to just talk to humans, because they're all different. They all have different experiences. They all have different things that brought them to where they are in their current iteration of life. And to get good at this type of contact is to get good at calibrating and giving people what they feel like they need at the moment. And that calibration is the key thing, right? And I talk about it all the time. You can see it. You can see it in. I'm actually doing a whole series on calibration in the private group. But this guy was using his religious backing. And another guy on the call was using. The fact that he lived in Hong Kong as another problem. It's like, oh, the cultural difference is too great. I don't know if I could surmount it. And I'm like, look, bro, I am 5'8" and mildly obese. And those are also limitations. But you wouldn't tell me that I should just give up because I'm not somebody's ideal standard, right? I should still work with what I've got and overcome whatever obstacles I have, right? It's like, yeah, of course, right? And, well, the fact that you're in a different culture means that you need to educate yourself on the culture and learn how those people think and interact and get to know them as humans. And you're going to fuck up a little bit in the first because you don't have any experience there. And as long as you don't act like you do, people will be happy to tell you about themselves and about how they work. And he's like, yeah, okay. And then, so this other guy with the religious thing, I'm like, look, like, I had clients that were, waiting till marriage for sex. Like, sure, if that's your value and that's your ideal, then you're going to have to attract people in a non-standard in the society way. But that's totally possible. And you can find somebody who vibes with you because everybody's different. They also have a lot of common threads. Like, all humans have something that they can relate with if they just give it the effort. And so what it turns out was, as I asked and probed a little bit more of the questions, is he was basically just using that as a excuse his whole life that, oh, I'm just going to polarize my view of women, and so I'm going to be scared of the ones that I think are available, and then I'm just going to make a bunch of the other ones unavailable in my mind. because I'm just going to X them all out, when he hasn't really had a lot of heavy interaction with either group of them in order to make that decision on his own. He's like taking it hearsay from somebody else's opinion. And I'm like, that's dumb. It's limiting your options, and you're not able to figure out who you are or grow as a person by interacting with, you know, people of varying different viewpoints and ideals. So I think you got the message, but I wanted to reiterate this here, that if you're running through the world, Xing out a whole group of people that you can talk to while you're practicing your social skills, you're limiting your options. The joke I always say is, you know, if you're straight, if you're a straight man, you only have like 52% of the population that you can get at. But if you're bi, your options open way up, which of course is very tongue-in-cheek and has to do with your sexual identity. But it's the same kind of thing. It's the kind of thing. It's like, yeah, we like people who are like us. But if you have no real-world experience with socialization at all, being well-rounded by going out and talking to people that you wouldn't normally hang out with, and being, entertaining the romantic process with people that you wouldn't normally interact with, you get out of your shell and you become a more full, experienced human being who can relate on multiple levels. And that skill set is vital, especially when attracting somebody who is truly compatible with you. So get out there and practice, and you will get the skill set that's going to give you the self-confidence and the know-how and the knowledge and whatever that you need for when the time is right and it does matter. A lot of people in the self-help community are like, no, you should just manifest exactly what you want, and you don't fuck with things that are below your level or whatever. And for me, that's all ego. It's like, there's nobody that is below my level to talk to. And yes, I do have standards. I'm not going to maintain a long-term intimate relationship with somebody who doesn't match me. It's not going to work, right? But I'm not going to X them out just because they look a certain way or they feel a certain way, right? In the first glance, until I get to know them, because exploring their humanness and finding out what we do have in common is the joy of this whole thing. So that's my thoughts today. Your challenge today is to figure out a group of people, a group of romantic interest type people. So if you're straight and somebody of the opposite gender, that you just X out entirely. Like, oh, I don't like girls who, dress conservatively because they're too stuck up or whatever. Or like, I don't like guys who speak not English as their first language, for instance. You don't know who they are. If you haven't interacted with them a great deal, then you need to go out and practice interacting with them. And you can come up with ways to set boundaries well and to mediate correctly so that you're not taken advantage of or annoyed or whatever, bored by other people. And you can sort of bring the commonness out of the people that you're with so that you can explore those things together and join that journey, because everybody's looking for connection, even if it's not high on their human needs scale. So yeah, so your exercise is to write down a group of people that you normally ignore and you don't interact with, and then go interact with somebody like that and see what you learn. See what you learn about yourself and see what you learn about them. Check out yesterday's video here. Check out the group of challenges there. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. Check out David's videos in the link in the comments below. And if you guys are straight and interested in the attractive man stuff, my affiliates links below so that you can see me on big, long calls with them. And I do this every day. So I will see you tomorrow. Until then, stay awesome.